అయిపోతే నాకు చెప్పండి రెండు నాకు
Good evening, students. Today we are going to start out with language of chemistry. So let's start without wasting much more time. So here in this chapter we are going to learn about different types of chemical reactions. What are chemical reactions and conditions affecting chemical reactions. So prior to start, what is a chemical reaction? When we call that chemical reaction has taken place. So here reactant reacts to form product. So here when reactant reacts to form product, the sequential presentation of that is called chemical reaction. Now chemical reaction can be of two types. It can be a skeletal chemical equation or a balanced chemical equation. What is a skeletal chemical equation? Unbalanced chemical equation is called skeletal chemical equation. Every equation has to be balanced. So why we balance a chemical equation? The reason is we balance a chemical equation to follow the law of conservation of mass. As per law of conservation of mass, mass can neither be created nor it be destroyed. To satisfy that law, we need to balance a chemical equation. So here, to satisfy law of conservation of mass, we need to balance a chemical equation. So here some conditions affecting chemical equations are given. Reaction should be a close contact. Reactant should be in close contact. Hello? Join to? Achha. So here, in this chapter, we are going to learn about language of chemistry. So here in this chapter, we are going to learn about how the chemical reactions are taking place, different types of chemical equations. So let's learn it without wasting more time. Now here, chemical reaction. What is a chemical reaction? It is a representation where the reactant react to form products. Reactant reacts to form product. That presentation is called chemical equation. Chemical equation can be represented in three different ways. It can be word representation. For example, if we take magnesium is reacting with oxygen. Magnesium is reacting with oxygen, it will form magnesium oxide. If we write word magnesium plus oxygen forming magnesium oxide, that we call word representation. If we represent that in symbol, we call it as symbolic representation, like Mg plus O2 is forming 2MgO. Then it is a symbolic representation. Or we can write in sentence form. Three representations are possible. It can be word representation, it can be symbolic representation, or it can be sentence representation. Now, unbalanced chemical equation is called skeletal chemical equation. An equation has to be balanced. As per law of conservation of mass, mass can neither be created nor it be destroyed. To satisfy that law, we need to balance a chemical equation. So this is up to like how a chemical equation is managed. So in this chapter, we are going to learn like how we can make reaction more informative. If any chemical reaction is there, how we can make more informative, or what are the conditions affecting the chemical reaction. So here you can see in the page, reactions, conditions which affect the chemical reaction. For chemical reaction to take place, some conditions should be necessary as discussed below. Reactant should be in close contact. So here the reaction is taking place. Unless the reactant are in close contact, they will not react. So reactant have to be in close contact. For a chemical reaction to occur, the reactant should be in close contact. For example, sodium metal react violently with cold water. So here, sodium metal is highly reactive metal. If you see the reactivity series, after potassium, sodium comes. Sodium is highly reactive metal. So it is so reactive that if we keep it in cold water, it will catch fire. So they here the metal will be in close contact with the cold water, and sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is formed. Soon the sodium will react with the water, Na plus H2O. Sodium formula is Na, and then water is H2O. It will form sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is NaOH, and hydrogen is liberated. Hydrogen is inflammable gas. So soon it will catch fire. So thus the sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is formed with hissing sound. The reaction can be represented as follows. Here you can see the reaction is written in word form. We can represent reaction in either word form, or in sentence form, or in symbolic form. Three representations are possible. Here when we write the words, we call it as word representation. So first condition for a reaction to take place, reactant must be in close contact. Unless they will be very close to each other, they will not react. Second one, physical state of the reactant. Chemical reaction take place more easily when the reactant are in solution form. So this is the second condition. When reactants are in solution form, when they are in liquid form, reaction take place easily. In aqueous solution, an aqueous solution of barium chloride react with aqueous solution of sodium sulfate. Barium chloride, BaCl2. Aqueous stands for water. When something is dissolved in water, solution which is obtained, we call it as aqueous. Aqueous solution of barium sulfate react with the aqueous solution of barium sulfate. Aqueous solution of barium chloride react with sodium sulfate to form barium sulfate and sodium chloride. So here BaCl2 plus Na2SO4 will form BaSO4, barium sulfate plus sodium chloride, NaCl. So here, sir, I am dictating reactions to you. Write down the symbols of that. Here words are given. Take out your notebook and write down their symbols. Barium chloride, BaCl2, will react with sodium sulfate, Na2SO4, to form barium sulfate, BaSO4 plus sodium chloride, NaCl. Now the next condition, in solution form the molecule of reactant are more mobile, hence they can come in contact with each other easily. Here they can make one mark question. Why the reaction take place easily in solution form? Reason, because in solution form reactants are in mobile form. So they easily move. They can easily react with each other. Please repeat. Barium chloride, BaCl2. Ba, capital B, small a, BaCl2 plus sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. Na2SO4 will form barium sulfate, BaSO4 plus NaCl, sodium chloride. Later on I'll write and show you all the reactions, okay? If you're getting confused, I'll show you, as you don't know maybe formulas how to write. Okay, next one, temperature. Some chemical reaction do not take place at room temperature. The reactant have to be heated to certain temperature to start the reaction. For example, magnesium does not react with cold water. It reacts with water to produce magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen. So here some chemicals do not react, like some reactions may not take place at room temperature. So as they need some temperature where they become activate. Okay, so thus reactions take place in certain temperature. So here we are dealing with what are the different conditions needed for reaction to take place. The first condition was reactant should be in close contact. The second one, physical states of the reactant. If they are in solution form, reaction can take place easily. Third one, temperature. Certain reactions take place at certain temperature. That all the reactions are not taking place at room temperature. So they gave the example of magnesium and water. Magnesium does not react with cold water, but it reacts with hot water. So here some temperature is needed to make the water to get heated up. Next one, presence of light. Certain reactions are there which are taking place in presence of light. So here silver chloride. Silver chloride in sunlight, it converts into silver and chlorine. So here silver chloride will decompose. Decompose means it will divide. Okay, it will split into silver and chlorine. So here reaction is taking place in presence of light. Presence of catalyst. Now what is catalyst? Catalyst is a substance which does not take part in the reaction, but due to its presence, it will make the reaction to happen. So here catalyst is a substance which itself does not take part in any chemical reaction. Itself does not participate in reaction, but because of its presence, it is making the reaction to happen. That is called catalyst. Catalyst, so here definition is given. They can ask what is catalyst. Catalyst is a substance that changes the rate of reaction. So changes the rate of reaction means it will make the reaction either faster or slower. For example, in the preparation of ammonia gas, ammonia, its formula is NH3. Ammonia, nitrogen and hydrogen will react in presence of iron. So here iron is a catalyst to form ammonia. N2 plus 3H2 will form NH3, 2NH3. That is ammonia's formula. Now electricity. Certain reactions are taking place in presence of electricity, like hydrolysis of or electrolysis of water. When electricity is passed through water, water will split into hydrogen and oxygen. So that we call presence of electricity, like reaction is taking place in presence of electricity. Next one, characteristics of chemical reaction. A chemical reaction can be made more informative. So as I told, like we can make the reaction. So in general, what is a chemical reaction? When it is represented in a sentence form or in a symbol form. So with the symbol or sentence, we cannot get the state of every reactant. To make the reaction more informative, like how the reactant are there, whether they are in solid form, whether they are in liquid form or in gaseous form, we can represent their symbols and then we can represent their states and we can make the reaction more informative. Is it clear, Sarath? Sarath, is it clear? So here indicating the physical state, like S for the solid, if it is liquid, L, if it is gaseous, G, if it is mixed in water, aqueous. So like that we can make the reaction more informative. So along with their symbols, their state is also represented, like whether they are in solid state or in liquid state or in gaseous state. Now the next one, by indicating the condition under which the reaction is taking place. Sometimes we can make the reaction more informative by indicating the condition under which the reactions are taking place. Like here, you can see in the reaction, above the arrow, temperature is written. 500 degrees centigrade, 200 atm. atm stands for atmospheric pressure. 500 degree temperature. Then below Fe is there. So Fe is catalyst. So here the reaction is made more informative by representing the conditions of the reaction. So they are called conditions of the reaction. That is at which temperature the reaction is taking place, at which pressure the reaction is there, and then finally what is the catalyst used during reaction. So here this can be done by specifying the temperature and pressure at which the reaction occurs Also, if the catalyst is used in the reaction, and it is indicated as follows. So temperature, pressure, and catalyst presented just on the arrow. So here the arrow is representing the direction of the reaction. Direction means which are the reactant and what is the product. So which substances are reacting to form product. So here nitrogen and hydrogen. Nitrogen, G is written. So that is its state. Nitrogen in gaseous state, hydrogen in gaseous state, and before hydrogen there is 3. So this represents 3 molecules of hydrogen. And before nitrogen nothing is there. Only 1, nothing means 1. 1 molecule of nitrogen is reacting with 3 molecules of hydrogen in at 500 degrees centigrade and 200 atmospheric pressure in presence of iron as a catalyst to form 2 molecules of ammonia, NH3 ammonia. And ammonia we are getting in the form of gas. So it is in gaseous form. So these are called states which are represented in the reaction to make the reaction more informative. Now next topic, indicating if the heat is evolved or absorbed. Now there are 2 types of reaction depending on heat evolved or heat absorbed. If heat is given out during the reaction, heat is given out means certain reaction is taking place, and if the container is becoming hot, we call that to be exothermic reaction as heat is given out. And sometimes if certain reaction is taking place and the whole container became cool, we call it as endothermic. Their heat is absorbed. Heat can be either given out or it can be absorbed during the reaction. Depending on heat release or heat taken in, there are 2 types of reactions. If heat is given out, it is exothermic reaction. If heat is taken in, it is endothermic reaction. So here, first example, nitrogen N2. It is 1 molecule of nitrogen in gaseous form reacting with 1 molecule of oxygen. Then heat is used. Here heat is taken in. So it is an endothermic reaction to form 2 molecules of nitric oxide, NO. NO stands for nitric oxide. So here it is forming 2 molecules of nitric oxide. That is nitric oxide is also in gaseous form. Next one, if heat is evolved. Evolved means heat is given out. So how we come to know that heat is given out? There, after the arrow, heat symbol will be there. When heat is taken in, before arrow, heat will be there. See clearly, the 2 types of reactions are given. The first reaction, heat is taken in. So heat is there before. Study, what is your real name like that? I think your title is there, no? So some name must be there. Okay, so here when heat is taken in, it's looking different. I never heard such name. So how we pronounce it? The cry. If you have any simple name, say to me. Huh? That will be easy for me. Study, that I remember. That is okay. I'll call always like study. Huh? That's easy for me. Now the next one, endothermic and exothermic reaction. So endothermic reaction where heat is taken in, and exothermic where heat is given out. Now the next one, here some activity is given. Dark cry. Still looking different, huh? I feel like I'm pronouncing wrong. Dark cry. Is it correct? Okay. What does it mean? Perfect. Okay. Okay, let's learn activity to show the absorption of heat by sodium hydroxide. Sarath, I don't feel like in language of chemistry you will be having all these things which you are sharing with me. So language of chemistry means it's a chapter where you'll be learning about symbols, how to make the formulas, and chemical name of the substance. So all those must be there. 7th standard. Sarath, are you there? So when this chapter was explained in the school, they might have given notes to you. If you have, sir gave this chapter in portion. Okay, this chapter is there in portion, but they must have discussed this chapter now. So I don't feel like all this topic will be there in the 7th standard. These all of generally of 10th standard. If it is ICSE board, they could be in 7th standard. But that too, they are not in sequence. Topics are not interrelated. Language of chemistry means you are learning this for first time. He didn't made us to write. He just discussed. Okay. So here, what I feel like, if it is language of chemistry means there should be molecules, atoms, then compound, then how their symbols are represented, criss-cross model, all those must be there. Do you remember what he said while explanation? What he explained? While explanation, which topics were covered in your class? Here in activity, they gave the preparation and all. So this all will not be there. I don't feel this is related to you. So all chemical reactions are given. So here also, to understand the reaction and product in a chemical reaction. Okay, this could be there, like what are product? Substances which are taking place in the reaction. So let's understand with the help of activity, magnesium react with oxygen in presence of air to produce magnesium oxide. Okay, valency he explained. He just discussed valency. So that doesn't come under language of chemistry. For valency, you need to remember their atomic numbers. Do you know elements atomic number? Up to 20, at least up to 20 you must know. If you can remember atomic number, easily you can learn about their valencies and their properties, like whether they will be metal or non-metal. Okay, wait for a few minutes, I'll show you. See here, in this chapter, like you'll be having some symbols. First you need to memorize this. Do you know all this? Aluminium, Al, argon, Ar, barium, Ba, boron, B. Do you know all these names and their symbols? If you know all this, so this could be one of the part of the chapter. Then next one, this you need to remember, atomic mass. Hydrogen is 1, carbon is 12, nitrogen is 14, oxygen is 16. Write down these. Okay, these you need once, like while having the valencies and all, you need to memorize them. Finding their molar mass. See here. And even they can ask this one, atomicity of some elements. What is atomicity? Atomicity represents, he didn't cover atomic mass. Okay. So here atomicity, how many atoms are there? Argon, only single atom will be there. So we call it as monoatomic. If there are two, we call it as diatomic. Like oxygen, we represent by formula O2. So it is a diatomic molecule. Then in the same way, hydrogen, H2, diatomic in nature. Nitrogen, N2, diatomic in nature. Chlorine, Cl2, diatomic in nature. Phosphorus, P4, tetraatomic. Sulfur, S8. So it is polyatomic. Next, here the symbols are there. If you learn this one, this table is important. With this, you can remember all the valencies and even the formulas can be made easily. Write down these all symbols along with their valencies in the notebook. So here sodium, Na plus, potassium, K plus. So Na plus is there. This plus sign is representing valency of the sodium is 1. Okay, this you wrote in your notebook now. So this you need to memorize. Okay, here the valency is there. They will ask this one. Depending on that, we are going to prepare formulas. Now suppose you are preparing, like you need to write the formula of sodium oxide. So how you are going to write sodium oxide? Na symbol is Na plus. Okay, with valency. Plus is its valency, plus 1. Now sodium oxide you are writing. Oxide is O2 minus. Okay, we need to write both the symbols first. Na, then O. Na's valency is plus 1, O's valency is minus 2. Then we'll cross them. So formula will be N2O. So this 2 of oxygen will shift to nitrogen, sodium, and sodium's 1 we will shift to oxygen. That we call criss-cross model. So you can have representation how the criss-cross model we write formulas. For example, here you are writing the formula of carbon chloride. Carbon's valency is 4. Chlorine's valency is 1. How we came to know that their valency is 4 and 1? From this table. So you can see carbon, they have not given. So carbon is plus 4, carbon is 4 and then chlorine. So here carbonate, chlorine minus, okay, minus sign is there. So minus 1. So both the valencies we will write just below. First you need to write their symbols like carbon symbol and chlorine symbol. Carbon is C, chlorine is Cl. Then write down their valencies. Carbon's valency is 4, chlorine's valency is 1. Then we'll cross them. So this 1 with carbon and 4 with chlorine. So CCl4. And the same way magnesium chloride. So first the symbol to be written Mg and chlorine. Magnesium valency is plus 2. Chlorine's valency is minus 1. Again we'll cross them. MgCl2. Next, aluminium oxide. Aluminium valency is plus 3. Oxygen is minus 2. While writing formula, we need not to write their signs. Okay, only valency, that value is needed. Now we are crossing them. So 2 we will put in aluminium and 3 in oxygen. So formula is Al2O3. Now next one, calcium oxide. Calcium valency is 2, oxygen valency is 2. So when like numbers are multiples, if they can get cancelled, we'll cancel and simplify them. So here both the 2 will get cancelled. So formula of calcium oxide will be CaO. Now here some names are there, some formulas are there. Can you say their names? What is first one? Can you say the name? What is first one? Al2SO4. What we call to Al2SO4? Whole thrice. So here Al2SO4 whole thrice. 2Al2. 2 is representing valency of SO4. And 3 is representing valency of aluminium. They got crossed. What will be the name of this? Are you there in the class? Are you there in the class? शरद अभी देखो इनका बस हम लोग क्रॉस कर रहे हैं. पहला क्या है? Al. Al माने क्या होता है? एल्यूमिनियम. हाँ, आई डोंट नो दिस। देखो Al माने एल्यूमिनियम, तुमको भी मैंने सिंबल वाला टेबल दिखाया था, बस तुमको सिंबल्स में से लर्न करना है कि कौन से वाले सिंबल को क्या बोलते हैं। तो Al हो गया एल्यूमिनियम। SO4 माने सल्फेट, एल्यूमिनियम सल्फेट। अब नेक्स्ट क्या है? Ca। Ca स्टैंड्स फॉर, Ca स्टैंड्स फॉर Ca, कैल्शियम। Cl माने क्लोरीन, लेकिन यहाँ पे हम इसको क्लोराइड बोलेंगे, कैल्शियम क्लोराइड। देखो इसके लिए तुमको ये वाले नाम याद रखने हैं। ये ऊपर का मैंने टेबल तुमको दिखाया था कि अगर तुमको ये टेबल लर्न रहेगा तो तुम ये सारे नाम बता पाओगे। जैसे अगर पीछे NH4 है तो हम उसको अमोनियम बोलते हैं। ये अगर टेबल याद रहेगा तो आराम से सारे नाम लिख सकते हैं। जैसे अभी NH4 है तो अमोनियम, if OH is there, hydroxide, if NO3 is there, nitrate, if HCO3 is there, hydrogen carbonate, if CO3 is there, carbonate, if SO3 is there, sulfite, if SO4 is there, sulfate, if PO4 is there, phosphate। ठीक है, ये इनके नाम के हिसाब से, मतलब ये फॉर्मूले के हिसाब से तुमको ये साइड वाला नाम याद रखना है। फिर वैसे ही आगे देखो सिंपल वाले हैं। अगर H है तो हाइड्रोजन, फिर वैसे ही H में अगर H माइनस जनरल नहीं आता, हाइड्राइड। क्लोराइड देखो Cl होने से क्लोराइड, Br होने से ब्रोमाइड, I होने से आयोडाइड, O ऑक्सीजन होने से ऑक्साइड, S होने से सल्फाइड, N होने से नाइट्राइड। और उनके वैलेंसीज हो गए 3 2, वैलेंसीज के साथ याद रखना है। ठीक है, ये टोटल पूरा अगर टेबल याद रहता है तो इनके रिलेटेड हमको नाम लिखना है। एक बार नोट करो टेबल और ये वाला लर्न करो तो तुमको सिंबल्स फॉर्मूलेस लिखने आ जाएंगे। फटाफट नोट कर लो, उसके बाद फिर मैं फॉर्मूलास लिखना सिखा रही हूँ। शुरू से मैं तीनों दिखा रही हूँ। टोटल 4 कॉलम्स आर देयर, यू नीड टू कॉपी आउट ऑल द 4, कंप्लीट 4। Total how many chapters you are having in syllabus? Okay, 7 chapters. Inform me if you complete first one. Inform me if you complete first column. Bio 3, Physics 2 and Chemistry 3. See if the first column is completed, write on the second column. First column is not visible. So this one, the first one. Sodium, potassium. Can you see it now? Hurry up, write it down fast. Is it over? Now second column. So now onwards, all the three columns are important to write formulas. Over? Shall I move it to next? Shall I move it to next? Okay. Now next one is ammonia. This is the most important one which you need to learn perfectly. Ammonium NH4 plus. So Valency is +1. Hydroxide OH minus. Whenever we'll be having like polyatomic ions, we call them polyatomic, as more than 2 atoms are there, NH4. So here total number of atoms, 1 nitrogen and 4 hydrogen. Total 5 atoms are there. And the same way OH, 2 atoms are there. NO3, total 4 are there. So as here more number of atoms are there, we call them polyatomic. And why we call them ions? As they're in ionic representation. Whenever they are with the symbols like plus or minus, we call them ions. So here they are polyatomic ions. Ammonium NH4, hydroxide OH minus, nitrate NO3 minus, hydrogen carbonate HCO3 minus, carbonate CO3 2 minus, sulfite. Very often students get confused in sulfite, sulfate, sulfide. Learn them very clearly. If it is sulfite, ITE, SO3 2 minus. If it is sulfate, ATE, SO4 2 minus. If it is sulfide, see here, sulfide, IDE, only single S, S2 minus. If only sulfur is there, we call them sulfide. Okay? Sulfide only for sulfur one. If it is SO4, sulfate. If it is SO3, sulfite. Understood clearly? For phosphate, PO4 3 minus. Is it over? आगे करवा लूं अभी? तो अब अगर तुमको ये नाम पता है, ये सारे सिंबल्स अच्छे से पता है, तो तुम यहाँ से अभी जो मैंने पीछे क्वेश्चन तुमको पूछा था उसके आंसर्स तुम दे सकते हो. देखो अभी Al2SO4, Al स्टैंड्स फॉर एल्यूमिनियम, SO4 माने हमने वहाँ पे क्या लिखा था, अभी कॉलम में से क्या देखा था, सल्फेट. तो ये हो गया एल्यूमिनियम सल्फेट. वैसे ही सेकेंड वाला, पहला हो गया कैल्शियम, Ca स्टैंड्स फॉर कैल्शियम, NCl स्टैंड्स फॉर क्लोराइड, कैल्शियम क्लोराइड. नेक्स्ट हो गया K2, K स्टैंड्स फॉर पोटेशियम एंड SO4 स्टैंड्स फॉर सल्फेट. सो इट इज पोटेशियम सल्फेट. KNO3, K stands for potassium, NO3 nitrate, potassium nitrate. Ca stands for calcium, CO3 stands for carbonate, calcium carbonate. Is it clear now? Is it clear how to write formulas now? Like how to write names of the formulas? Molar mass is not there, you told, like, no, atomic mass is not explained. So only in this way they are going to ask you write the formulas. Suppose they ask like to write sodium nitrate. From that column, you know sodium is Na, nitrate is NO3. Then writing their charges, +1, -1. Then cross it. As 1 is there, no need to represent. So formula will be NaNO3. What is next chapter? Physical and chemical change. So that's very simple, like physical and chemical change. So they will ask first definition and difference between. They can ask physical change. When the physical identity does not change, we call it as physical change. If the physical identity changes, then we call it as chemical change. If the new substance is formed during a reaction, is called chemical change. Then different examples they will give, and they'll ask like whether it is a physical change or chemical change. Why digestion of the food is called chemical change. So you are aware the type of reaction where we cannot get the original substance back, we call it as chemical change. If the original substance can be received back, is called physical change. If we have ice cube, and if we melt it, it will change into water. Again, water will solidify to form ice. So the type of reaction where the reactant and product can be interchanged is called physical change, and the type of reaction where the reactant and products cannot be interchanged, then it is called chemical change. Like we discussed digestion of food. Food which we take that will undergo digestion and then energy is liberated. We cannot get back the food back. So type of reaction is chemical change. Will you send me pics so that we can discuss much more in detail? Either with the chapter or question answers. Or better you share physics. There may be some numericals which may be difficult for you. Chemistry, physical and chemical change is very simple chapter. Physics, which chapter is there? Maybe motion. No numericals in physics. Which chapter is there? Light is there. Okay. What is rectilinear propagation of light? What do you mean by rectilinear propagation of light? What do you mean by rectilinear propagation of light? Light travels in straight line. Very good. What is the speed of light in vacuum? What is the speed of light in vacuum? What is the speed of light in vacuum? Three multiplied by 10 raised to 8. 3 multiplied by 10 raised to 8 speed of light in vacuum. Next, it's not in your book, but question could be asked. In CBSE we come across with that. 3 multiplied by 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Okay, in light chapter, like regular and irregular reflection, then difference between concave and convex mirror, what is the use of concave and convex, then which mirror is used in rear view mirror, then torches. So all those kind of questions are there. Do you have all this in your textbook? You have any difficulty regarding that? Regular and diffuse reflection, then laws of reflection, then characteristics of image formed by plane mirror, how the shadow is formed, then okay, no difficulty. So in light, no difficulty. Electricity, what is closed circuit, what is open circuit, then resistance. Resistance topic is there, or it's not covered? It's not there. If you have your textbook, once you turn out, if you feel like any topic difficult which you want me to explain, comment on that topic so that I'll explain that one. So once you turn out the pages of physics, go through with each and every page. So if any topic is difficult, comment on that, I'll explain that topic to you. Difference between the types of lenses and mirror. देखो, अगर तुमको पूछते हैं कि कॉन्वेक्स एंड कॉन्केव लेंस, तो कॉन्केव लेंस कैसा होता है? इट्स थिकर एट द एज, थिनर इन द मिडल एंड थिकर एट द एज. ठीक है, दोनों एजेस पे वो थिकर होता है और मिडल में वो थिन होता है, वो हो गया कॉन्केव. फिर वैसे ही कॉन्वेक्स, थिनर एट द एज, थिकर इन द मिडल, कॉन्वेक्स हो गया. Convex lens always forms real and inverted image. Concave lens always forms virtual and erect image. ये दो इसके डिफरेंस हो गए. Now coming to concave and convex. वापस फिर से बोलूं, लिख रहे हो या फिर तुम्हारे पास लिखा हुआ है? Concave lens जो होता है, thick at edge, thin in the middle. जबकि कॉन्वेक्स जो है, थिन इन द एज, थिक इन द मिडल. और उनके इमेजेस कैसे बनते हैं? कॉन्केव से वर्चुअल एंड डायरेक्ट बनता है और कॉन्वेक्स से रियल एंड इन्वर्टेड. नहीं, पॉइंट्स में लिखो. हमेशा साइंस के जो आंसर्स होते हैं वो पॉइंट्स में लिखना चाहिए. ठीक है, डिफरेंस बिटवीन पॉइंट्स में लिखो, या कोई भी आंसर होता है पॉइंट्स में लिखने से ज़्यादा इफेक्टिव होता है. साइंस के आंसर्स पॉइंट्स में होने चाहिए. और अभी अगर मिरर देखते हैं तो कॉन्केव मिरर जो है वो हमेशा रियल एंड इन्वर्टेड बनाता है. सिर्फ एक ही केस है, जब ऑब्जेक्ट बिटवीन पोल एंड फोकस होता है तो इमेज हमारा वर्चुअल और डायरेक्ट बनता है. टोटल 6 केसेस वी आर हैविंग वेयर वी गेट द इमेजेस फॉर द डिफरेंट पोजिशंस. कॉन्केव मिरर ऑलवेज फॉर्म्स real and inverted image only in the one case when the object is between pole and focus. It forms real and it forms virtual and erect image. जबकि convex में हमेशा virtual और erect होता है. ये इनके differences हैं. ठीक है, concave, cave, inside. okay? फिर और कौन सा टॉपिक है? तो फिजिक्स में तुम्हारा एक भी सम्स नहीं है, मतलब सिर्फ थ्योरी है ना पूरे चैप्टर में, सभी में. सिर्फ थ्योरेटिकल है ना, तो तुम अच्छे से जितने भी क्लास वर्क में है या जो टेक्स्ट बुक है, अगर पूरा चैप्टर अच्छे से रीड कर लोगे तो यू कैन गिव आंसर्स इजीली. सेंड मी योर चैप्टर्स पिक्स, आई विल प्रिपेयर क्वेश्चन पेपर एंड सेंड यू. टेक्स्ट बुक के ऑथर का क्या नाम है? मेरे को एक बार लिख के भेजना. हाँ, एनसीईआरटी यूज़ कर रहे हैं कि कोई दूसरे ऑथर का यूज़ कर रहे हैं? एनसीईआरटी है या कोई दूसरे ऑथर का यूज़ कर रहे हैं? Convex is also called diverging lens. Very good. Convex is called diverging lens and concave is called converging lens. You can write that point also. एनसीईआरटी यूज़ हो रहा है? अच्छा, तो एनसीईआरटी में तो बहुत सिंपल टॉपिक्स है, उसमें तो ज़्यादा कुछ भी नहीं है. एक्टिविटीज़ के बेस्ड में क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. एक्टिविटीज़ करने होंगे, जो चैप्टर के अंदर एक्टिविटीज़ है ना, वो सारा करना है. तो बायो में तो तुम्हारा रिप्रोडक्शन वाला चैप्टर है ना? तो लेंस में से ये वाला कर लेना कि वाई कॉन्वेक्स इज यूज्ड एज रेयर व्यू मिरर बिकॉज इट गिव्स वाइडर व्यू एंड क्लियर इमेज. नेम द मिरर यूज्ड बाय डेंटिस्ट. बायो कंप्लीट हो गया है, ठीक है, चलो, वेरी गुड. ठीक है, जो भी चैप्टर्स कंप्लीट हो जाते एक बार मेरे को बता देना, तो उसके हिसाब से मैं तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन पेपर बना के भेजूंगी, तो मेरे को आंसर्स लिख के दे देना. जो चैप्टर हो रहा है मेरे को बता देना. तो एनसीईआरटी है तो मेरे पास एनसीईआरटी का ऐप होगा, तो मेरे को बता दो. अभी तो फिर मेरे को क्यों नहीं बोला? 7th स्टैंडर्ड का ये तो एनसीईआरटी के ही बुक्स हैं. सो इजीली आई कैन गेट बुक फ्रॉम हियर. कौन कौन से चैप्टर से जल्दी बता दो. रिप्रोडक्शन इन प्लांट्स, रेस्पिरेशन, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इन प्लांट एंड एनिमल. यही वाला ना, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इन प्लांट एंड एनिमल, रेस्पिरेशन इन ऑर्गेनिज्म, फिजिकल एंड केमिकल चेंज तुम बता रहे थे. यही है ना तुम्हारे बुक के पेजेस? हाँ, तो देखो अभी तुम्हारे फर्स्ट यहाँ पे क्या है, फिजिकल एंड केमिकल चेंज. तो बस यहाँ पे देयर आर 2 काइंड्स ऑफ चेंजेस. वन कैन बी फिजिकल चेंज एंड अदर कैन बी केमिकल चेंज. सो यहाँ पे इन्होंने कुछ एग्जांपल्स लिए. एक्टिविटीज़: cut a piece of paper in 4 square pieces. So we are taking a piece of paper and then we are cutting it into different pieces. We cannot join it to get paper back. So it's though it is looking like a physical change, no new substance is formed, but the reaction cannot be reversed. For a second one, collect chalk dust lying in the floor near to the chalkboard in your classroom, or crush the small piece of chalk into dust. Add little water to the dust and make the paste again. So here we are getting back the substance, though the mass will decrease. Then the next one, take some ice in the glass or a plastic tumbler, melt it, and then again we can freeze it back. So all these are physical changes as new substances not formed. तो यहाँ पे ये वाला तुमको definition एक याद रखना है. Different examples इन्होंने लिया है, boiling of water वगैरह सभी कुछ. So here properties such as shape, size, color and state of a substance are called physical properties. So what are physical properties? Properties such as shape, size, color and state. Shape, size, color and state are called physical properties. And a change in its physical properties is called physical change. So you need to write definition from here. What is physical change? Shape, size, state and color. They are called physical states. And if there is change in the physical state, we call it as physical change. In such a change, no new substance is formed. During physical change, no new substance is formed. Now what is chemical change? A change with which you are quite familiar in the rusting of iron. If you leave a piece of iron in open for some time, it acquires a film of brownish substance. So here there will be brownish coating on the iron article. So that is called rusting. And that brownish part is called rust. Iron gates or park or farmland, iron benches kept in the lawn or the garden, almost every article of iron kept in open gets rusted. So when a new substance is formed, it is called chemical change. Very good. What is chemical change? When a new substance is formed, it's called chemical change. Now, okay, so here they have taken the example. Change can be represented by the following equations. So here they have taken some magnesium ribbon and they burned it. Left magnesium Mg will react with oxygen. When magnesium is burned in air, it will react with oxygen to form magnesium oxide, MgO. The equation here are different from those in the mathematics. Equations of this kind, the arrow implies becomes. So here the reactant will change into product. No attempt should be made to balance chemical equation at this stage. So here when there is arrow, it is unbalanced equation. When we balance it, in between arrow, like instead of arrow we put equal sign. So collect ash and mix it with some amount of water. Stir the mixture. It's in aqueous state. Why we call it as aqueous state? Because we mixed it with water. Then test it with blue and red litmus paper. So what is blue and red litmus paper? They are called indicators. Okay, they will indicate whether the magnesium oxide is basic or acidic in nature. All metallic oxides are basic in nature. हाँ, indicator है. जो भी metallic oxides होते हैं वो सारे basic oxides होते हैं. So as they are basic oxides, they will change the red litmus paper to blue. Blue turns to red in acid. क्योंकि अभी ये metallic oxides है ना, metallic oxides basic होते हैं. So red will change to blue. On dissolving ash in water, on dissolving ash in water, it forms a new substance. This change can be written in the form of following. So magnesium oxide plus water will form magnesium hydroxide. So we took magnesium oxide. When it is dissolved in water, we are forming magnesium hydroxide. So here water soluble bases are called alkalis. So it is an alkali. Chapter 4, magnesium hydroxide is a base. So magnesium oxide is new substance formed in burning magnesium, and magnesium hydroxide is another new substance formed in mixing magnesium oxide with water. So here new substance is formed. फिर next फिर से एक और activity क्या है? Dissolve about a teaspoon of copper sulfate. So this here again they can make one mark question here. What is blue vitriol? Copper sulfate is called blue vitriol or Neela Tota. So as it is blue in color. In about half a cup of water in the glass tumbler or a beaker, add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid. Copper sulfate is taken, few drops of dilute sulfuric acid is added to that. You should get a blue color solution. Save a small sample of the solution in test tube or a glass bottle. Drop a nail. So here we took copper sulfate solution, then a nail is dropped. Nail is made up of iron. So iron will displace copper from copper sulfate solution. Copper sulfate solution का formula हो गया CuSO4. अगर उसमें हम iron nails को डालते हैं तो iron nails में से iron निकल कर copper sulfate में से copper को displace करके iron वहाँ पहुँच जाएगा. So it will form ferrous sulfate, FeSO4 plus copper. क्योंकि copper sulfate से copper निकल गया है तो जो blue color का solution है वो fade हो जाएगा. ठीक है. और जो nails हैं iron nails, there will be brownish deposition on it. So इससे हमको पता चलता है कि मतलब यहाँ पे एक displacement reaction हुआ है. अब displacement माने क्या होता है? जो high reactive substance होता है वो reaction mixture में से low reactive substance को displace कर देता है. High reactive substances displaces the less reactive one from its salt solution. That is called displacement reaction. Where will copper go? Copper कहीं नहीं जाएगा. Copper solution में अभी copper जब sulfate के साथ mix है तो वो blue color का दे रहा है. तो यहाँ पे copper separate हो गया और वहाँ पे उसके place पे iron आ गया. ठीक है. वो reaction mixture में है लेकिन combination change हो गया. So as the combination changed, it is a chemical reaction and moreover it is represented by color change. That the reaction combination got changed. Okay. So here the blue color solution will change to green due to formation of ferrous sulfate. Next one, do you see any change in the color of the solution? तो यहाँ पे क्या आएगा आंसर? Yes, there is a change in the color of the solution as the displacement reaction has taken place. फिर उसके बाद है next, देखो इन्होंने यहाँ पे एक आयरन का ब्लेड रखा है तो आयरन वो रस्टेड जैसा हो गया क्योंकि उसमें से आयरन निकल के सॉल्यूशन के अंदर चला गया और सॉल्यूशन जो है वो ग्रीनिश कलर में चेंज हो गया ड्यू टू फॉर्मेशन ऑफ फेरस सल्फेट. हाँ, अब नेक्स्ट है विनेगर. विनेगर इज कॉल्ड एसिटिक एसिड. ठीक है. और बेकिंग सोडा जो है वो बेस है. एसिड एंड बेस रिएक्ट टू फॉर्म सॉल्ट एंड वाटर. दिस वी कॉल न्यूट्रलाइजेशन रिएक्शन. ठीक है. When acid react with base, it forms salt and water, and the reaction is called neutralization reaction. Vinegar will react with baking soda to form sodium hydrogen carbonate, carbon dioxide and other substance. The reaction between the carbon dioxide and lime water as follows. तो यहाँ पे reaction between, next reaction दिया है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड लाइम वाटर. तो ये हमारा कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का टेस्ट का रिएक्शन होता है. जब लाइम वाटर में अगर हम कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को पास करते हैं तो लाइम वाटर मिल्की कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. इट टर्न्स मिल्की. व्हेन कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज पास्ड थ्रू लाइम वाटर का फॉर्मूला CaOH होल ट्वाइस, कैल्शियम हाइड्रोक्साइड, CaOH होल ट्वाइस. होल ट्वाइस क्यों बोल रहे हैं? क्योंकि OH जो है वो एक पॉलीएटॉमिक कंपाउंड है. ठीक है, पॉलीएटॉमिक आयन है. तो पॉलीएटॉमिक आयन को रिप्रेजेंट करते समय हम ब्रैकेट में रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. CaOH होल ट्वाइस will react with carbon dioxide to form calcium carbonate, CaCO3 plus water. तो यहाँ पे जो लाइम वाटर है इट टर्न्स मिल्की ड्यू टू फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट. तो ये कई बार हमको मतलब ऐसा क्वेश्चन होता है कि जब हम लोग वाइट वॉश करवाते हैं तो 1-2 दिन के बाद वॉल का ब्राइटनेस बढ़ जाता है. सो वाई द वॉल लुक्स ब्राइट आफ्टर 2 to 3 days ऑफ वाइट वॉश? द रीज़न इज बिकॉज formation of calcium carbonate. Calcium hydroxide will react with carbon dioxide present in the air to form calcium carbonate. Due to formation of calcium carbonate, it gives a bright look. समझ में आ गया? इसके बाद यहाँ पे देखो, हाँ तुमको यही वाला बोला होगा, लैंग्वेज ऑफ केमिस्ट्री में तुमको ये सब कुछ थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन हो गया है. We have seen that one or more new substances are produced in a chemical change. In addition to new product, the following changes may take place. तो अब यहाँ पे क्या क्या हो सकता है? Heat, light और any other radiation may be given out. Heat या फिर light release होता है. इसके पहले भी in the beginning of the session we started that. Sound may be produced. Can you give an example where in a chemical reaction sound is produced? इसके लिए होता है प्रिपरेशन ऑफ हाइड्रोजन. जब हाइड्रोजन का प्रिपरेशन होता है, हाइड्रोजन जब रिलीज होता है, हाइड्रोजन लिबरेट होने के बाद इफ़ वी बर्न हाइड्रोजन फॉर इट्स आइडेंटिफिकेशन टेस्ट, हाइड्रोजन बर्न्स विथ पॉप साउंड. ओके, सो समटाइम्स दे रिलीज साउंड एंड अ चेंज इन स्मेल. देयर मे बी चेंज इन द स्मेल, अ न्यू स्मेल मे बी गिवन ऑफ, कलर चेंज में टेक प्लेस, गैस में बी रिलीज्ड. फिर उसके बाद ये सारे एग्जाम्पल्स है वेयर वी कैन से दैट रिएक्शन हैज़ टेकन प्लेस. रस्टिंग ऑफ आयरन हमने देख लिया है. और क्या है? इतना ही है ना. अच्छा, मेरे पास ये ऐप है, तेरे को जो भी चैप्टर समझना है मेरे को चैप्टर का नाम लिख देना. तेरे को कोई भी मेरे को फ़ोटो भेजने का ज़रूरत नहीं है. आई कैन टेक चैप्टर्स. चलो अभी मैं क्लास एंड कर रही हूँ. आर यू देयर? कि लीव कर चुके हो? क्लास एंड कर दे रही हूँ. प्रिपेयर वेल. whatever difficulties you are having you can ask me so that we can have revision based on that. पढ़ना, सिर्फ मस्ती मत करना. ठीक है, चलो बाय, गुड नाइट, हैव अ नाइस रिविजन.